The slaves suffered more than Jesus on the cross. The slaves suffered more than Jesus on the cross. The slaves suffered more.
Realize that he is actually an ancestor that was lynched. Let's get into it, a historical context, since we're referring to the Bible. The book of Genesis, the 2nd chapter and the 10th verse, and this is to set a historical setting. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. So these are 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pison. This means increase. That it which compassed the whole land of Havilah. We're going to get into who Havilah is, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is berdolum and onyx, so on and so forth. The second river is Gihon. The same is that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. So that right there, full stop, lets us know that at least one of these rivers is located in East Africa. And we know that scripture begins to tell us that we, Negroes or Hebrews, are unto the Most High as the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians come out of Cush, and Cush is the son of Ham. Ham name is Kam or Kam. This is for Kemet, the original name of Egypt. His name means to be warmed, to be burnt, to be black. Therefore, we are speaking about a black people. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which opened toward the east of Assyria. And we're going to get scripture that's going to show us that Assyria comes out of Asher. Asher is the son of Shem. Shem is where we get the word Semitic. Semitic is literally defined as Afro-Asiatic. So these are automatically talking about the land of Ham and the land of Shem. Both have been denoted as Afro people. And the fourth river is Euphrates. We know that the Tigris, the Euphrates River, goes into West Asia, which is why we Negro people are called Afro-Asiatic, because we were the first Afri or Free or Ifra or Para, Ipiru people to spring out of West Asia and then begin to immigrate into Egypt. When we begin to look at Genesis, the 10th chapter and the 6th verse, and the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. We already stated that Cush was the Ethiopians. It's essential to know that Cush not only inhabited Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, so on and so forth originally, but Cush also inhabited the Arabian Peninsula for the Sabines. Mizraim is Egypt. That's the name of Egypt. Put is where you are going to get your ancient Libyans, your ancient Fulani people. Canaan is going to be the name and the entire landmass for Africa. And out of Canaan, this is where you're going to get your Horites and your Hittites and your Amorites and your Troglodytes, so on and so forth, right? So these are already talking about a black people. And Cush begat Nimrod. We know that Nimrod founded Babylon, Uruk, or and Akkad, which is the Akkadians, and Calin and the land of Shinar. So ancient Babylon was wholly populated by these Cushitic people groups and founded. And out of ancient Babylon sprang Asher. Scroll down to Genesis 10. Unto Shem was Eber. Eber is where you're going to get the word Hebrew from. And then verse 22, the children of Shem is going to be Elam. These are the ancient Elamites or ancient Persians. And Asher and Apharxad and Lud, which is where you get your Ludians, and Aram. This is where you get the Aramaic language. So the language that Yeshua, or Jesus Christ the Messiah, spoke was an Afro-Asiatic language. He was speaking Aramaic with a Galilean accent because he was from the sea coast as the sea people. And so when we begin to scroll down even further, Genesis 10 and 29, you're going to see, and the sons of Joktan, and Joktan happens to be the son of Eber. And out of Joktan, this is where you get the Yucatan Peninsula. And the Yucatan Peninsula is going to be in Peru. The reason that this is very important is because, remember, in the book of Genesis, the 2nd chapter begins to say that one of the rivers was in Havilah. Havilah is going to be one of the sons of Joktan. So this is always putting us in the mindset of Peru. Joktan is also going to be the progenitor of your Aborigines in Australia. When we begin to confirm Peru as the Yucatan Peninsula, we will go to his other son, Ophir. Ophir, whose name literally means gold. So this is where you are going to see Asher, Ophir, and Havilah in Peru, which is why the ziggurats of the native Indians that were ruling Peru at that time was identical to the ziggurats that was in Assyria, because these are Afro-Asiatic people group. And the reason that this is very important is so that we can understand the historical context of ancient cannibalism that this sister began to mention. It's important to understand that in the book of Genesis, the 12th chapter, and the Lord said unto Abram, get thee out of thy native country, which is going to be which we've already established was established by Nimrod, the Cushitic people, and alongside them were ruling the Semitic people. This is the Ubed 1, 2, and 3 culture that was ran simultaneously as the Nakada 1 through 3 in ancient Egypt, as well as the culture that was going on in Peru at this time. So Abram the Igbo, or Abram the Hebrew, began to leave Uruk, which was founded by Nimrod during that time. And then it begins to go down and state in Genesis 12 and 10, and there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt. This places us in 2181 BC in ancient Egypt. And there are historical facts that cannibalism ended up taking place during this time due to the famine. Leviticus 26 and 29, Deuteronomy 28, 53 through 54, Jeremiah 19 and 9, Zechariah 11 and 9, 2 Kings 6 and 28, Lamentations 4 and 10, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. These people were not only prophesied to become cannibals, but these prophecies was fulfilled in the book of the Kings and the book of the Chronicles due to them selling themselves into slavery, according to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. This word and, but, or therefore is going to be a conjunction. This is going to be the second person masculine plural, meaning yourselves, in the form of makar. Makar literally means to be sold into marriage or to be sold into slavery. Deuteronomy 28 and 68 begins to vehemently tells us that these Hebraic people sold themselves into slavery. And then when we begin to put the historical context of Yeshua at that time, this is when Rome and the Edomites and the Assyrians and the Persians and the Babylonians and the Nabateans completely begin to take over the identity of the Israelites at the fall of the temple in 70 AD. The cross that Yeshua was literally hung on was a stake in the ground. He was hung. He was lynched. He was the prime example for our ancestors to understand how to navigate death so that he can fulfill the prophecy of Psalms 20 and Psalms 91 that begins to say that the Messiah would be yeshued or delivered from death because he became a martyr. Our ancestors became martyrs after Yeshua did. He's the prime example.